I need to tell you something I've never said out loud. Not to my wife. Not to my brother. Not to the therapist I saw for 8 months after everything fell apart. I've carried it for 11 years and I'm done carrying it alone, so I'm going to put it here, in the open, where it can't follow me in the dark anymore. When I was 26 years old, I made a decision that destroyed the best version of myself. And the worst part? Nobody forced me. I'll start at the end, because that's where the truth lives. 3 years ago, I was sitting in a hospital waiting room at 2 in the morning. Not for myself. For a man named Gerald Pitts, 64 years old, former high school basketball coach, the kind of man who remembered every student he'd ever taught and asked about them by name decades later. Gerald was dying. And as I sat in that waiting room under fluorescent lights with a cup of coffee I couldn't drink, I kept thinking one thought on repeat, like a record that had found its skip. He believed in you, and you wasted it. That thought cracked something open in me that I'd spent 11 years keeping shut. What followed was the hardest year of my life. And the most important. Let me take you back to when I was 22. I was good at one thing, genuinely, unusually good. Not the way people say they're good at something because they enjoy it. The way that makes other people stop and look. The way that makes teachers talk to each other in hallways. I wrote stories, mostly fiction. Long, strange, ambitious things that I started at 16 and couldn't stop. My English teacher, Mrs. Callan, once kept me after class to tell me, and I remember her exact words 11 years later, word for word, "You have the kind of mind that only comes around a few times a generation. Don't you dare waste it." I was 17. I didn't know what to do with that, so I folded it up and put it somewhere safe and mostly tried not to think about it. But I kept writing. By 22, I had a manuscript, 412 pages. 3 years of work. It wasn't perfect. First novels never are. But it was real and it was mine, and when Gerald Pitts read it, Gerald, who had somehow become my unlikely reader, my unlikely champion, he called me on a Sunday morning and said, "This is going to matter to people. Send it out." I was 22 years old and someone I respected was telling me my work was real. I should have sent it out. I didn't.